My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
Alright, so I'm gonna talk about EA's conference, Ubisoft's, and Nintendo's. I was about to do a whole video for Nintendo's conference, but I didn't really feel like it because I didn't even watch the whole conference after, I seen the direction it was going. First off, it should be no shock. Nintendo's conference was a fail. They had the potential to win E3, to have the best conference, because they have a freaking whole new system to show off, but I still have questions like, what can the Wii U do? Like, they didn't answer none of the questions that I had. Like, what can the Wii U do? How is the online going to be? What new games can you bring to the table? It's like, they showed 3 Mario games. In one event, they showed 3 Mario games, it's just, they had the potential to really, get a lot of people attention of why they should buy their next gen console, and people still have questions. So Nintendo, they failed hugely. I don't know what went wrong there, but man, Nintendo's conference, absolute trash. So let's move on to Ubisoft's conference and EA. Okay, so let me start off with EA first off. EA, they showed off Dead Space 3. They was fighting this huge alien necromorph, if you will. It is this huge monster, The only thing is, it seems like, I don't know, all the gameplay they showed, it seemed a lot more action type than horror. And I said the same thing for, the current Resident Evil games. It seemed like it's getting away from survival / horror and going more into action. And I don't know if I like that. I just feel like, games like Resident Evil, Dead Space, Silent Hill, I'm trying to think of all the scary games, stuff like that. It should always have that survival / horror feeling, and I don't know, but I can't really say how Dead Space 3 is going to be. It's just the gameplay they showed, it was a lot of action. Then they showed Madden 13, which I don't really care about, but we all know Madden 13 is going to come out. Then they showed off the Battlefield 3 Premium, which you can buy for $50, and it's like a huge expansion pack. You get new game modes, new weapons, all this type of new stuff. So for you Battlefield 3 fans, if you have a PS3, you can buy it right now. I think it comes out on Xbox next week. Then they showed off Medal of Honor Warfighter. That game looks good. When it comes to first-person shooters, people like to think Halo, Call of Duty, Killzone. No, it's that. As bad as I hate to say no, but people don't look at Killzone like that. But they think of Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield, and Medal of Honor and even Killzone is always those underrated first-person shooter games. But the gameplay in this game, the graphics look amazing. I'm talking about, I was impressed by the explosions, like everything. Medal of Honor, it's a very underrated first-person shooter to me, but this new Medal of Honor Warfighter, let me tell you something right now. It really looks great, and I might get it. Who knows? Then they showed off FIFA 13, all their sports games. I don't really have to go into detail about that. They showed off FIFA 13. Finally, they showed off a UFC game that's coming out, and they showed off Need for Speed Most Wanted. Need for Speed Most Wanted 1. The very first one was the best Need for Speed out of the entire series to me. After that, it was Need for Speed Underground. Yeah, Need for Speed Underground was the best one out of the entire franchise to me. But Need for Speed Most Wanted, it did look good. The gameplay looked good, and it comes out October 30th. Then after that, they showed off Crysis 3. I'm not really into Crysis like that. Crysis 2, I'm not gonna say it was a bad game. It wasn't a bad game, but It's Crisis 3, you know? I'm not really into Crisis like that, so I can't really say that I'm excited for this game. But of course, the graphics look great. We all know how Crisis is, and you know, I don't know. It seems like the more and more I play games, it's gonna take more than just great graphics for me to be excited for a game, and that's really all I've seen in Crisis. So let's move on to Ubisoft's conference. Alright, so last but not least, Ubisoft's conference. First off, the host. It was some black lady. I don't even know who she was, but I don't know. She kept saying how she was such a gamer and how she loved first person shooters, and it just came off to be extremely fake. And she was trying to be so funny throughout this entire conference, and it was just not working. The only thing I did like is the other host, I guess, was Tobiscus. He's actually a YouTuber. You know, he makes YouTube videos, so I thought that was cool. But that lady, that host, oh my gosh, she was terrible. She was just trying to be too funny throughout this entire conference, and the crowd was just I thought that was funny. But yeah, so Ubisoft's conference, they showed off Far Cry 3. When they showed off the Far Cry 3 4-player co-op, I have to say I was not impressed. I was just like, okay, this is average. But I don't know, these days, you know, from all the games I've played, it's going to take a lot to make me impressed with a game. Like, you have to show me something new. And before, you know, with the 4-player co-op, you know, I really wasn't impressed. But when they actually showed the gameplay from the campaign, you know, it looked good. The graphics looked great. You know, the gameplay looked great. I'm probably not going to get Far Cry 3 because I know nothing about the story, and I never bought the previous Far Cries, but it looked good. They showed off the Avengers Battle for Earth. That's going to be a Wii U title. They just showed a trailer for that. I liked the trailer because it had my favorite villain in that trailer, which was Venom. And but they just showed a trailer. I don't, like I said, Nintendo's conference, it was bad. They didn't show anything, at least in my opinion, about what this system has to offer. Then they showed Rayman for the Wii U. Now, this was a game on the Wii U, if I am correct, and graphics are not everything to me. It's truly not. I think gameplay is always the first most important thing in a game. Gameplay, story, then graphics. So Rayman, yeah, it looked good, but if I'm looking at the Wii U as the first next-gen console, from what I've seen with Rayman, I was not impressed. It looked good. You know, it looked like a fun game to play, but I wasn't impressed. Like, it looks like a Wii title. Like, I still do not know what Wii U has to offer. It looked like a Wii title. I don't know what's going on. The only thing I liked about it is it looked fun, and, you know, you could play it up to 5 players, you know. Then they showed the only thing that I was impressed by, and it's not even with gameplay. I was just impressed by the trailer and the fact that it's going to be on Wii U, and the fact that I think it has potential to be one of Wii U's, you know, go-to titles. It was a trailer for a game called Zombie U, and, you know, it's basically going to be a zombie game on the Wii. It was a nice trailer, man. It looked good, but once again, it was a trailer. I mean, what can I take from that? It was a trailer. Of course it's going to look good. You know, I don't know how we use hardware and specs are, but I truly need to see a game that on the Wii U, a game made for the Wii U that does not look like it could be played on the Wii. If this is a next-gen console, I need to see some improvements in textures, graphics, and like I said, it's not just about graphics, but these titles I'm seeing so far, I don't see no improvements. But the trailer for Zombie U did look good. I do feel that this game has the potential to be one of Wii U's, you know, go-to titles. Then they showed off Assassin's Creed 3. You know, I took a break from the Assassin's Creed franchise after I bought Assassin's Creed 2. After that, I took a break. I didn't like how they were coming out with the new Assassin's Creed every year. I don't like when games do that. I never liked when Call of Duty did it. I don't like when Assassin's Creed does it. Freaking, what else game comes out every year? I don't know. The only games that I can accept coming out every year is sports games, because it's always been that way. It's always been that way. So that's why I can accept it. But for games like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty, I could never I just don't like it. But I will say the Assassin's Creed 3 gameplay did look great. It clearly, at least in my eyes, looks like the best of Assassin's Creed. You know, the gameplay they showed, he was in, you know, the snow and wherever, you know, he was hunting for deers, and you know, I guess he hunted for the deer because when he killed the deer with a bow and arrow, he bought the meat back to some guy. So he was hunting for deers. You know, he's shooting bow and arrows inside these deers, and then before he picks up the deer, these wolves come out, and I guess they're trying to steal the deer from you because they're hungry. So then you have to fight the wolves and stuff like that. That was cool. You know, I mean, he's just swinging through trees and vines. This dude literally looks like he has mastered like freaking, I don't know. It looked like he has mastered doing everything. Like this guy naturally can just swing through trees and vines and stuff like that and look completely normal. Like he's almost, you know, in his home. Like, I just thought it was cool how, you know, how fluidly he jumped from branch to branch while in trees and swinging on vines, and you know, that was cool. You know, of course they got new assassinations, new fighting moves and stuff like that. All that stuff looked good. Like I said, Assassin's Creed 3, it did impress me a lot. I just don't like how, you know, it's coming out every year. But I'm still probably going to get it because I took a huge break from Assassin's Creed series. Then, the thing that stole the show from Ubisoft, in my opinion, we all know. Say it with me, my brothers and sisters. Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs, that game looked amazing. It's an open world game. I don't know what the game is going to be about. But if you guys have ever seen this movie called Eagle Eye, it's with Shia LaBeouf and some other actors. They got Shia LaBeouf in it, the beautiful Rosario Dawson. Who else? Billy Bob Thornton. I forgot a lot of the actors, but they got Shia LaBeouf in it, Rosario Dawson, Billy Bob Thornton, and some other people. But yeah, I don't know. Watch Dogs kind of reminded me of that, of how, you know, he was. Like, it's like he had the ability to control every electronic device with his cell phone. Like, he could change the traffic, you know, the traffic lights could go from freaking green to red just by using it with his cell phone. And he could, like, hack people's phones and make the signal drop down and stuff. It looks like an open world game, and I like the idea behind it. You know, he walked inside this club. I guess he was looking for some guy to kill. And you know, you heard the security people like say to, I guess, the guy you're playing as, I guess he's trying to kill someone for whatever reason. The security looks at this guy and they see that he's, you know, suspicious or whatever. So they tell him to get out the club. You know, he knocks out this one security guard, and then you know, they tell him not to get away because they're trying to stop this guy from trying to kill whoever he's trying to kill. But he gets out of the club successfully, and then, you know, like I said, he has the ability to, like, control a lot of these electronic devices just with his phone. So, you know, the traffic lights are on green. You know, you see a whole bunch of cars. You know, you basically hack the traffic lights, make them go to red. It's this huge freaking car crash. Then, you know, these people get out the car, they start shooting. You're behind the car, you're shooting at them. It looks like an open world game. It looked impressive to me. Watch Dogs, truly, I don't know how the entire gameplay for this game is going to be, but I truly believe it's going to be an open world game. And if that's the case, that Watch Dogs is an open world game, I think this game can give Grand Theft Auto 5 a run for its money. Just off of what I've seen from Grand Theft Auto right now. I mean, we know what Grand Theft Auto is, you know. It's, you know, we know what it is, but we haven't seen any gameplay for Grand Theft Auto so far. All we've seen is trailers, and from what I've seen of Watch Dogs right now, it looks like a new, fresh idea, and I was highly impressed with the gameplay. Watch Dogs looks like an amazing title. I cannot wait for this game to come out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I talked about EA, I talked about Ubisoft's conference, I talked about Nintendo's, and you know, what did you guys like from Ubisoft, EA? Was you disappointed in Nintendo's conference like I was? You know, leave comments or a video response. And as always, I greatly appreciate if you rate the video. It doesn't have to be a thumbs up, it could be a thumbs down, but what I do ask every brother and every sister. So saying that, I'll catch you guys in my next video, alright? Peace.